there you go. Yeah, you didn't know. That's it.
Okay.
You got it. There you go. Here's the schedule. How'd the test go yesterday?
Better than I expected.
All right, so I told you you could do whatever you wanted to do with this with the war PowerPoint. So take about 5 minutes and go over whatever you want to go over on the war PowerPoint. If you want to talk about specific ones, if you want to talk about big picture ones, whatever you want.
Okay, so the only one
But I didn't remember some stuff. Is like
It's okay.
Spanish and Australia.
I didn't know the social or cultural impacts of the Spanish Armada. I did. Oh yeah. That's what the Spanish. That was more like trying to spread. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I don't know the social or cultural impacts besides like they just kind of marked the decline. So, but I feel like that was more yeah, like so obviously Austria. That's what I'm doing in the test.
Austrian succession was like Maria Theresa, and Austria was like Prussia, right? And Prussia got
from like the German Federation.
That's all I had there.
Sounded like everybody was done at the same time for a second there. Yeah. That's fine. No worries. So, one of the ones that causes a lot of stress on this traditionally is the Russo-Turkish War there. I'm actually not worried about that war specifically. But what I want you to know is that keep in mind that the Ottoman Empire and the Russian Empire are at odds with each other basically this entire course. Going back to Catherine the Great expanding into the Black Sea. They're competing in the Balkans. They're competing, all the way up into the Crimean War. Those two empires are at direct odds with each other for this entire course, especially if you want to add in the religious element, that Russia is Orthodox and feels that they are the true Christianity, and they are defending Christianity against the rising Islamic power. So just keep that in mind. So I'm not worried about the 118. There's like 7 Russo-Turkish wars, I mean, if we look at all of them. Just know that they kind of culminate with the Crimean War. Does that make sense? Does that help answer? Any other ones on there that would just befuddling? Yeah, Megan.
The social and cultural impacts of the Spanish Armada.
I would say it gave the British a new confidence. Now, don't forget, it didn't stop England from being Wakanda yet. But with the benefit of hindsight, we can look at that as a point precipitating England's rise and kind of a symbol of Spain's fall. But also don't forget, Spain was still the most powerful country in the world after the Armada. Remember how I said it? Like Spain lost the Armada and they were like, oh God, that was devastating. Okay, let's build another one. That'd be cool. Now, the reason kind of it established the confidence in England is like it basically solidified Protestantism. There they weren't going to get turned Catholic, or at least they thought. Then we get the Stuarts, and there's more issues, but that's a separate thing. Maggie, good?
What was the social impact of the War of Austrian Succession?
I don't know that there's one to talk about. I'd say either the War of Austrian Succession, Spanish Succession, because those were much more dynastic. Those were much more pretty much straight political concepts. Political. I was going to say straight political wars, but that's a ridiculous thing to say because most are. Yeah. Yeah, of who is... No, I mean, I guess if we want to say that it set up or, like, solidified the dual nature of Germany, the competing two... But even that's political, right? Austria v. Prussia. I don't know, does anybody get anything for that one? I can't think of any. Christ, I can't find it. No, somebody edit that out. Any other ones? Yeah.
Can you talk about how the Balkan Wars were like a prelude to World War I? Like,
Yeah. So it's like all of these, the crumbling of the Ottoman Empire, the competition that Austria is trying to get down in here. None of them should have been preludes to World War I. But then once we get the alliance system and we get Russia involved, we get Austria involved, that's how it kind of becomes. I don't want to call it a dress rehearsal for World War I because that's not really fair, but, I guess ultimately it's because the events that start World War I start in the Balkans with the assassination. Like, that's how those kind of symbolize or lead up to that. Make sense? Okay. We need to get rolling on here. Was that useful? To go through that? I mean, even if you didn't write anything down, just to look through it and remind yourself about all these wars? Yeah.
During the English Civil War, why did the peasants side with the royalists?
Do you remember in the French Revolution how we talked about initially a lot of, well, there's two different things. A lot of people saw it as them and the king against the nobility. Is that vaguely familiar? And then also, generally speaking, peasants are more conservative than urban dwellers. And so there's a couple different levels operating there. Make sense? Okay. We good? Yes? All right. Okay. We need to look at this then. European Revolution. So we're going to do not political first. So we're going to look at different revolutions, not political, and I want you to look at each one of these and think of how they were revolutionary in ways other than political. Artistic, social, religiously, oh, thank you, Jack, sorry. Technologically, did I say intellectually? And economically, okay? So you're going to talk about this with your partner, go through each one. How were they revolutionary? Ready? Begin.
Started as a resident of the rise of Huguenots and individualism in response to secularization and decreased importance of the church's political system and heavier importance on the human mind and human achievement and the material world instead of the spiritual world. That was reflected in Petrarch's autobiographies, particularly Father of Humanism. Anatomical structures in David, which glorified motives of culture reflected individualism, Erasmus, divine
don't forget, you're looking artistic, socially, religiously, intellectually, technologically, economically.
Okay, so intellectually, okay, Rasmus on comedy, Elizabeth Manera, she patronized like authors, I guess, like Shakespeare and Sir Thomas More, Utopia, kind of criticizing government, political handbooks. So I guess politically it was kind of a revolution because it was like focusing on the achievement of the ruler.
Next.
Okay. Reformation, so intellectually,
Oh wait, artistic like.
oh, because it's like increased honesty amongst and which is then encouraged the Reformation. Calvin, Luther, 95 BC. Printing press. Yeah, printing press. Peace of Augsburg. Or I mean, Dialogue. That's what Dialogue is, where he like recounts or he recounts like he can't go back on what he said. I don't know what the bottom side picture is. Artistic. I guess it's like literature a lot. It's kind of just like a new way of thinking like one individual instead of like these like large institutions. Technological, like you said, printing press. I don't know. They're like that's what it looks like. That is what it looks like. And down there, that might be kind of like, okay, so wait, this is during Reformation.
Artistically! Say it again? Baroque. I didn't hear anybody say the word. Alright, next. Oh, by the way, it might not be like all of them for all of them. By the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, so big economical impacts which focus on the strength of the state, so it's very conservative and mercantilism as opposed to like free trade. Like it's considered like a zero-sum game rejected by technological advancements, including the shit that is sailed against the wind that people care about. From Portugal, yeah, like the map, the astrolabe, compass. There's lots of food, like the Colombian triangle. Oh gosh, we're supposed to know. So it's like us people go from Africa to the New World. Raw materials go from manufactured materials go from North America to Europe, and then raw materials are sent from Europe to Africa and the New World, right? To be kind of manufactured there. So we talked about technological advancements, artistic advancements. So we're still kind of in the Northern Renaissance, so we're focusing and kind of a new kind of importance on the middle class, and focusing on like merchants, and kind of a decline importance on religion. So isn't there something in one of these pictures where it's like the Bible's in the background, and it's like turning
Did you
your back on
say
religion?
the word price revolution? Did you say the word Merkelism? Good.
Yeah, a lot. Sorry, I think you said.
So they had the things about astronomy and the way that
Yes, so like the new importance on reason impacted both scientific and political and social life. And the scientific impacts are expressed obviously in the scientific revolution. And these offshoots of the scientific revolution include rationalism and humanism, which further encourage secularization. And that is reflected in the images obviously, which kind of show the impact of the scientific revolution on everyday life. So it kind of shows like everyday people, or not everyday people, obviously intellectuals, but they're like, doing stuff. I don't know. And then well, they're kind of time. Yes, no, it's alignment, but like they're kind of happening at the same time. So like we can talk about political and social effects, which is similar to the alignment. So like these new ideas, these new ideas of rationality were applied to the political sphere, which was like used to like.
Next.
Oh no, I did not like. Hobbes again, okay. But I don't think Hobbes. No, wait, that was Emerson. Wait, no. One of them wasn't an alignment maker.
Yeah,
I think it's Hobbes. Hobbes is not an alignment maker. Okay, so that's Hobbes right there. That's Hobbes at the bottom, because he has to. Yes, he was in favor of like an absolute monarchy. That's what that is.
And that's Napoleon comes in as new, classic and romantic.
Diderot was the social. So wait, wait, Diderot was the encyclopedia. So the social contrast. It's like kind of ideas of like the general will and like the people and kind of like rights for the okay.
Now, make sure you take note here. Why is it separate from the Enlightenment and not political? I'm not looking for the political aspects of the French Revolution. I'm looking for all the other ones: artistic, social, intellectual, religious, technological, and economic. Go ahead.
Yes, so very big social impact in terms of the rising and strengthening middle class. I mean, that they were able to like overthrow the or I mean economic. Economic because one of the things that kind of facilitated the revolution was the inflation and drought. So the fact that that was one of the major issues that they addressed in gaining power. And then also social implications given that like you know that phrase like these very like radical social political ideas that like kind of spread throughout Europe as well as French Revolution. Artistic. Oh, this was during Romanticism, so like the whole idea of war and liberty and freedom were very romanticized and kind of expressed in these paintings that were very like industrial revolution, social impact. So that was like the 18th century, or this was like later 18th century culture revolution idea with and increased importance on the women, on the wife to work and bring home money, not just the man. Especially with like technological. It made this really fitting the one that was before the spinning Jenny, which put the men on first and the women to the worst, but then the spinning Jenny came in and then the women were also done first, and then like then they were also more social with like the Luddites and they were rebelling against the technology. Romanticism, which was a rebel, which was like rebelling against the ugliness and like the destruction of the Industrial Revolution. Social impacts like the children, which then later brought about political impacts of the child labor laws and the charter and the literature. I think it's great out there like yeah,
Did anybody say Marxism? I'd say that'd be an intellectual change of the Industrial Revolution, wouldn't you? Liberalism? Just throwing some ones out that maybe you didn't necessarily think of.
So, strengthened by classified control of the Industrial Revolution, so social implications and like the strengthening middle class and decrease kind of like what's it called? Class antagonism. As a result of the Industrial Revolution, which put a big divide between factory owners and factory workers. Strengthened by weakened by nationalism, because the whole idea of communism was that it was international. It was like international revolution. So weakened by nationalism.
Glad I finally contributed something.
Okay, political implications was it was not. Yes, so like the revolutions in Austria, Hungary, France, the Eastern, all that. So like it didn't have immediate political implications. However, it like changed the political time. So like even though so like basically at this point, by 1848, the continental Europe was pretty much dead. It was like
well, how did the Bolsheviks view religion?
However, reactionary China initially tried over the revolutionaries, but yet Europe, because like the territory change was
that's it. Okay. Now we are going to go political. And where's my pile here? I'm missing something. Oh, this is right here. I got it. Don't worry. There's a special pink bonus one. We're only going to do this for about 12 minutes. So this is supposed to go fast and furious. Okay? The idea is I want you thinking about these rebellions and revolutions. And I want you talking just what it says. What does it tell you about the political and social situation when it occurred? What changes did the rebellion revolution bring about? So I'm not worried about necessarily what happened. Don't be like, the peasant rebellion was when the peasants rose up and Luther's. No, but what's the political context of it? What's the social context of it? During the Reformation, these peasants were challenging, Luther was challenging church authority, so the peasants thought they would challenge the political and social authority, but nobody wanted that. Why didn't Luther want it? Well, he needed the support of the princes, and so it was put down very harshly. Like, that's what's important about the peasant rebellion, right? This just kind of runs through, so there's pictures of it up there to help maybe spark your memory for some of them. I'd like to do about 10 minutes with your partner, you working through this, and then a few minutes talking to somebody else about it, okay, just to kind of get a different perspective. So go ahead, have at it, kids.
Okay, so the rebellion was during the Revolution was the peasants against the nobility. So peasants, basically peasants versus nobility. So it was like princes. So it was like, so they kind of wanted to overthrow like the princes slash nobility. So it was kind of like, so it was definitely like class war. Like it was like peasants versus. Okay,
Well, they were holding four. They were holding like
oh wait, after that. Yeah, so like peasants. So it was like sought to overthrow power. Like that could be the so power.
And that
so
and then changing nothing was changed.
Okay, so maybe like social in response. So in response to breaking hierarchies. So like the kind of like the hierarchical breakdown, like the revolution of Protestantism in response to
oh, this was the revolt against and so they
Protestantism, so change. Kind of wasn't it? What was it? How would you say like people were like there were? I don't know. It was like it kind of decreased the popularity of Lutheranism, given that he was not on the side. So,
Do you see like the sparks for like other ones like Calvinism?
I think it did.
so
But I don't remember. And then increased
and then the English Civil War.
power of
Freaking Cromwell.
because they were back.
The Parliament people against.
Well,
I'm
it
pretty sure
doesn't
it was
increase their power, but like maintain
Charles
power. So maintain power. So like not much besides like decreased popularity. Okay, so this is a Dutch revolt. So this was when Spain invaded the Netherlands. So political implications was so territorial changes. What was it called? Territorial changes. It was like the 7 like northern provinces became something. And then but the 10 became just like northern states. The 10 southern ones became over. It just becomes the Netherlands. Yeah, it just become that. Okay. So territorial changes. So like the Netherlands. So like the northern Netherlands, or Netherlands in the north was created. Netherlands. And then southern became parts, or became parts. So social implications was kind of like Protestant triumph over like kind of like kind of like Catholic.
Good work.
And then kind of for political autonomy brought about prosperous trade in the Dutch. Okay, so maybe we'll just say political autonomy. Political and religious autonomy. In the north, not the south. So, prosperous trade as a result of brought about Dutch trade.
Other people like France were attacking like trading so they wanted
Okay, English Civil War. So political implications. Created the during the Stuart Restoration brought about the creation of political parties, the Whigs and Tories. But I guess that's also kind of social too, like the Liberals versus the Conservatives, but you can also parties. types of Tories, and then also the creation of the Cavalier Parliament. So like the Parliament kind of merges like the more powerful being in English government, and then the Earls kind of just like a figurehead. So emergence of power of Catholics in the Parliament. And then okay, so Glorious Revolution. Yeah, I think that's kind of what you think about. Social implications. So new parties, which is the what is it? So it's like the liberals. It was like liberal, Protestant, Presbyterian, bourgeoisie, I think. So liberal / Protestant bourgeoisie versus. Oh, you know what? This reflected the rising forms of the middle class. I think that's like the overall, like I think.
Another minute, then I'm going to have to switch people to talk to.
Okay, then for change, we'll just say Cavalier. Okay, American Revolution. Wasn't this like it kind of coincided with like the 7 Year War? So it's like political implications. It was I think it was. Okay, I think it shows like for social. It was like war was. So it kind of reflected like how these kind of conflicts were fought more of like a global, like international scale, and so like they were no longer fought just in Europe. So it kind of reflected like colonization and empires.
Do you have a review book with you? Do you have a review book with you?
No,
All right, let's find someone else to talk to for a few minutes, about 5 minutes. Get up, move around, walk, find somebody to talk to. Everybody's got to leave their seats. Too much sitting. Watch your step by the cord. Don't die or break my camera. Not necessarily in that order of importance.
I just wanted to know if you like. Oh, okay.
Ethan.
Sure.
Let's go back in. Okay.
Talking to anybody trying to find a partner. Stop feeling sorry for yourself and find someone.
Like what one exactly like? So I had 4 like small changes to like all the like okay, so that was kind of like that was for each implications with it over.
Oh.
So is it like kind of like a class conflict because of mobility, responsive for hierarchical breakdown? So it kind of like because like kind of like where they want to kind of decrease popularity.
So that I think you said the binder. You said binder. What's up?
Kind of over.
Yes, that is the birth of the Third Republic. And, yeah, and there's Napoleon, the Second Empire, and the French yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, this is, no, I wouldn't say, I mean, there's liberals. This is, the Paris Commune, for all appearances, actually is a class rebellion. When people thought this was the proletarian rebellion happening right now. But it was very harshly put down by the Third Republic.
Oh, right, he raises like.
It's a short time to finish up whatever you're going to finish up.
Okay, so political change. So wasn't it?
All right, let's head back to our seats. We got one other thing we're going to do. Okay, I'm fibbing a little bit on this sheet because it says you'll have 3 minutes to do this for each map. There's 8 maps with a little quick math. That sounds like 24 minutes, and we have 15. So you're not going to get 3 minutes per. Now, these are all available on the review page of my website, and so if you want to do this, if this is something useful for you, all of this is available on my website. So again, on the review page. We'll go about 2 minutes per. So again, what you're looking for is just what it says here. What's the map represent? When is it? What does it tell you about the political situation in Europe? What did the map change? Basically, you're contextualizing. What is this map? Okay? So here's number 1. If you can do it without reading the caption, that's ideal.
Okay, so
Perfect.
This is 30 years ago. It's her first autonomy. German princes gained religious autonomy, which kind of translated to political autonomy. This is the end of universal Christendom. So the Calvinism was incorporated into the Peace of Augsburg, in addition to the 11 years Lutheranism. And France strengthened because Habsburgs began to like Habsburg.
What did it do to the Holy Roman Empire? Split it up. What did it end?
Universal Christendom.
Universal Christendom, 30 Years War. I was thinking bigger picture. Universal Christendom. What else was it the last of? Wars of religion, Habsburg domination, quite a few things. This is the Treaty of Utrecht. Nobody ever remembers who took
Okay. I think. I think this is the one where Britain gets the Oscar, which is like the Spanish, like the right to like Spanish slaves, and so that leaves, like, that takes away Spanish power and gives power to Britain. So now they're becoming less like Wakanda and more like not Wakanda. Maybe.
What ward?
Spanish.
What did the British get?
They got a trade route.
Asiento. Remember the Spanish monopoly on slave trade with the Spanish New World? They also got Gibraltar, which they still possess. Kind of aggravates Spain.
So, it was partitioned by Russia, Prussia.
And don't forget what I'm asking you to do. What's the context of what's happening? What is this doing politically? What
Okay,
does
so
this mean?
strengthening Eastern Europe.
It's like everything around Poland got stronger than Poland.
I just remember like I don't really remember the implications of that, but like strengthen Austria. No, balance of power maybe, because it's like the only equal balance. Yes.
Hey, while we're on the subject, do a quick history of Poland with your partner. Go. See what you can come up with.
Okay,
So like Poland's okay, I guess.
Okay, so it was like very like central power, and it kind of gets modernized. But it was like weird because she relied on the nobility, and the nobility was like 30% of the population, something insane. So like they didn't have any actual power. So it was weakest, which made it vulnerable to this partition. And then it was partitioned, and then I think after the start of the war, I don't remember which war, but I remember it getting autonomy again, and then it was partitioned again. I think after the British Turkish War, some swap of the war. Oh no, that's no. But then like I remember, and then after World War I, World War II, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
This shows like the Russia-Austria conflict over like
Prussian War. So this was like when Bismarck was trying to consolidate Prussia by, and it was like a plot with Austria to like kind of kick them out of the German Confederation and decrease kind of their importance, and Prussia was kind of restored as like the military superpower in Europe. Yes, because it ostracized Austria from German Confederation. Yes, so I think it was like that whole kind of idea of like being like from Prussia. Ostracized Prussia from. Wait, is this the right? Yeah, ostracized Prussia from.
Hey, what word better have you said for what clock's going on here? For this one, and this one? Balance of power. Better have said. Alright, talk about this map now. Go ahead.
Okay, so the revolution of 1830 to 1848, following the concept of Vienna and the rise of nationalism. Okay, so the 1830 and 1848 was strengthened by industrialization, which kind of solidified class antagonism, strengthened by nationalism in response to the concert of Europe, which kind of attempted to kind of institute these conservative, like to keep the conservative monarchies. But like it didn't really work because like people wanted like there to be like their own like exactly.
They stopped bolting, and they took those.
Yeah, so like Marxism, but that was like creating like
And like they took those away. And it's like, oh,
France seizes Russia. But wasn't this like the end of France as the only revolution? Right.
This is the big revolution against bourgeoisie, and then it ended up not being that at all.
So 1830 brought Louis Philippe into power.
Yeah.
3 maps for this one.
Unification of Italy, which is unification of Italy, which follows Garibaldi, who was kind of like the very romantic, like Prima File. But then Cavour was kind of like the anti-monarchy. He like actually got done. He kind of co-opted the agenda of nationalists, or he used nationalists for like his own conservative agenda. And the other guys came in, but not that important. So like they unified Italy by first uniting North, which is more industrialized, and then uniting. Yes, and this they unified Italy amidst a war against Austria, right? So it kind of unified them nationally against like the foreigner, right, which was Austria. And I think with the help of France, they didn't end up dominating Austria. And okay, but it was like, but France was against the war because it's like Catholic states. Because France was mostly Catholic, like kind of all over the place. But so then France like turn on Italy, and then France allied with Austria. Was it France like and then with the unification of Italy in 1871 was Bismarck used the Franco-Prussian War to unify the this is national self-determination after the First World War. So I need to write down Italian unification. Okay, so this kind of reflects Wilson's 14 points. And then they put like you said, national self-determination, so kind of nations ruling themselves instead of being a part of empire, and this contributes to like decolonization. So we're talking about the political situation. So Germany was not because of the reparations, inflation, demilitarization, occupation of the Rhineland. Yeah, so there was like a lot of issues. So the new and replacement nation contributes to the end of empire, so break down the Ottoman Empire, no longer New York, like now Yugoslavia, etc. Which then creates further turmoil in the Balkans. Austria-Hungary, Poland back on the map, tensions with Russia, they want that territory. Germany occupied in the Rhineland, Germany occupied in the Ruhr Valley by France, which created tensions because that was the industrial center of Germany, so it made them harder to move. Cold War. Okay, Cold War.
Last one?
So like it kind of shows the Warsaw Pact. Yeah, so it's just that like so the world or well Europe was divided between capitalist
1945 to 1990.
and the Eastern the idea like bloc, I guess, and it was idea like competition between ideologies and emergence of conflict between superpowers for dominance in Europe.
Albania is like, it's like the only thing that's
I guess just like ideological conflict.
Why neutral? Why neutral? Why neutral? Why neutral?
Yugoslavia because they didn't like USSR policy. Austria because they wars.
Austria is neutral after World War II because they realized they're really bad at picking sides. And every time they pick a side, it's the wrong one. Basically. Switzerland's always neutral so they can do illegal banking better. And Ireland's neutral because they don't want to be with the bad guys, but who don't they like? Ireland was actually neutral during World War II also. A little embarrassing. Like, they refused to fight alongside England, but they like also refused to like hate Hitler. Not a proud moment. Eamon de Valera actually sent a letter of condolences to Germany after Hitler committed suicide. We don't talk about that too much. We like to pretend that didn't happen. You know what I did last night? I actually watched for the first time the actual scene of Hitler in the bunker from Fallen. On the Face Crack page I sent out, have you guys seen that? Like Hitler gets his AP Euro score, and it's like translated, and he's just furious. I've seen like so many like mock-ups, parodies of that. I've never watched the actual scene, and I watched it last night. Like what he's so mad about. But the one where he gets his AP Euro score is also pretty fun. And I think I put on the one that doesn't have cursing, or I tried to. There's a couple. So, was this good? Was this useful? Oh no, you know what? Yeah, we're not going over this until Thursday. Okay, we're not looking at this tomorrow. Tomorrow we're looking at the big picture and we're talking about the test a little bit more and stuff like that. So we're not going over this art PowerPoint till Thursday. The biggest thing that I want you to be able to do is, if you look at that front page, put the piece, the movement in context, be able to identify periods by movement, and relate to trends and eras. So what I say there, the big picture there, the little stars next to it. But again, we won't be going over that until Thursday. I just gave it to you because you don't have anything for me tomorrow, or today necessarily, due tomorrow. So I figured I'd give you whatever, you have all the stuff that we're going to do the next 2 days. So tomorrow, we're talking about the test, and we'll talk about the big picture, whatever you want to for that. Is that all right? How we doing? We holding it together so far? It's Tuesday already. We're almost there.
No.
Only 2 more days of like knowledge.
2.5. Can we start the simulation right after?
No. Have a great rest of the day, ladies and gents. Thanks for the work today. Say hi. Say bye to everybody. That was the least enthusiastic bye ever. Was today fun? Uh-huh. Sorry, I'll stop.